Like rightly said, we are here for a national assignment. This meeting is long overdue. We were supposed to meet some time ago. However, because of clashes of program, we could not hold that. The good news that we are here. There was another attempt to abort this collaborative meeting because of clash of programs again. Members of the local content committee who had intended to visit would have been more than this. But unfortunately, after we have agreed on this date, the next meeting for the All Progressive Congress was scheduled for today. So most of our members that would have been here, they attended the next meeting. And in order not to disappoint you again, we decided to come and meet you. What we have brought to you is very important, and time is of an essence. My name once again is Senator Joel-Onowakpo. By the special grace of God, I am the Chairman, Senate Committee on Local Content. And my speech today, I have titled it, Strengthening the Backbone of Nigeria's Economy. Senate Committee on Local Content reaffirm our support to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFRO, commitment to job creation, workers' welfare, and national industrial growth to support the renewed hope agenda of this administration. The President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, the Senate Committee on Local Content reaffirms its unwavering support to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFRO, commitment to the empowerment of Nigerian workers, the expansion of decent job opportunities, and the localization of economic benefits across the oil and gas, science, engineering, and broader industrial sectors with the recent announcement of the Nigeria First policy. Our initiatives are rooted in the understanding that the dignity of labor and the resilience of the Nigerian economy are directly linked to how well we protect, empower, and prioritize our workforce. As the legislative oversight body driving compliance with the Nigerian oil and gas industry, with the Content Development Act, Executive Order 5, and the President's Nigerian First policy, we are intensifying efforts to ensure that the Nigerians are not bystanders, but key players and beneficiaries in their own economy. At the center of the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu lies the Nigerian worker, represented and defended by the Nigerian Labour Congress. I want to commend you for the work you are doing for the Nigerian Labour Congress and for the Nigerian workers. You know, it was during your time that, and during the time of this president, that the minimum wage has been adjusted. This address is both an affirmation of our purpose and a direct invitation to the Nigerian Labour Congress to join forces with the committee in a long-term partnership designed to deepen local content enforcement and create meaningful jobs for millions of Nigerian citizens. We cannot continue to lament that there is unemployment when within this economy people are aiding and abetting, violating the local content law provisions in the country. Nigerian labor as the foundation of national development. Nigerian Labour Congress remains a critical pillar of Nigeria's democratic and economic evolution. From the refineries to the power grids, from public infrastructure to the manufacturing floor, Nigerian workers are the engine room of our collective progress. The Senate Committee on Local Content recognizes this, and we assert unequivocally that local content enforcement is ultimately about the Nigerian workers. The NOJIT Act of 2010, one of the most transformative laws for economic nationalism, aimed to ensure that Nigerians are prioritized in employment, procurement, and service delivery. Section 28 to Section 37 of the Act mandate operators to submit and implement employment and training plans that ensure Nigerian nationals occupy roles across all levels: junior, intermediate, and management. For emphasis, I read, for each of its operations, the operator shall submit to the board a succession plan for any position not held by Nigerians. At the end of the 4-year period, the position shall become Nigerianized. That is Section 31, subsection 1 of the NOJIT Act. This singular provision is a direct assurance to workers and NLC, Nigerian Labour Congress. The government is legally committed to ensuring Nigerians are given opportunity when they are qualified to lead. Executive Order, Presidential Order 5, localizing procurement and technology for workers' prosperity. Signed in 2018 by President Muhammad Buhari, GCFR. Executive Order number 5 is a landmark policy directive that extends local content enforcement beyond oil and gas into science, technology, engineering, and other procurement-heavy sectors. The goal is to promote Nigerian professionals, Nigerian goods, and Nigerian services in all public contracts. Section 1 of the Executive Order states, all procuring authorities shall give preference to Nigerian companies and firms in the award of contracts, and ensure that their expertise is, and ensure that where expertise is lacking, procuring entities will give preference to foreign companies and firms with a demonstrable and verifiable plan for indigenous capacity development. This is a bold nationalistic policy that will reduce capital flight, create jobs, and stimulate local industries. For the Nigerian worker, it means more projects will be awarded to companies that employ Nigerians, source raw materials locally, and transfer of skills. The committee's commitment is not limited to employment numbers. We are equally interested in improving the welfare, workplace safety, and long-term career viability of Nigerian workers. Section 35 to Section 39 of the NOJIT Act mandate operators to invest in training, research, and human capital development. These provisions are not ornamental, they are actionable legal standards. And I want to quote it. All operators shall employ only Nigerians in their junior and intermediate cadre. An operator shall carry out a program and make expenditure for the promotion of education, attachment, training, research, and development in Nigeria. That's Section 37. This statutory mandate reflects our shared priority with the Nigerian Labour Congress to upskill the Nigerian workforce and ensure they are not expendable but competitive. I'm here to call for a strategic collaboration with the Nigerian Labour Congress. We recognize the Nigerian Labour Congress not only as a watchdog, but as a thought leader in advancing socio-economic rights. As such, we are ready to work with the Nigerian Labour Congress to ensure that Nigerian workers are not just numbers in our workplace, but real people with voice, dignity, and rising standard of living. protecting the future of workers in Nigeria. The Snake Committee is mindful of the evolving dynamic of work as global industry embraces artificial intelligence, automation, and remote delivery models. We must ensure Nigerian labor is not displaced but repositioned. Executive Order number 5 encourages innovation but anchors it firmly in local ownership and capacity development. These include the promotion of Nigerian startup in engineering and tech, the localization of software and platform services, the creation of incubation hubs in oil and gas host communities for youth engagement. These innovations, guided by the local content framework, will ensure that tomorrow's jobs are not offshored but grounded in Nigeria. We call on the Nigerian Labour Congress to lend its voice and mind to the cause of the Nigerian content law. Let us jointly advocate for the full enforcement of the local content laws, not as a favor to workers, but as a duty to our nation. Growing local capacity is a sure way to creating employment for our teeming graduates and artisans. As industry operators, we cannot blame the federal government for the unemployment when we are the one aiding and abetting those who are determined to bypass the law. For example, when immigration quotas are issued to expatriates to come into this country to work, there are guidelines. They are not expected to stay here forever. They are expected to work here, train our Nigerians, and take over those jobs. But what we see today is that process is abused. You can see expatriate quota being issued to a father who came in here and transferred to a son and to a grandson still working in Nigeria without creating capacity for the Nigerian worker. We all have a shared responsibility. We have to actively be seen to support this government initiative to create massive employment for our people. Never again, Mr. President, under your watch, will jobs meant for our people be outsourced to expatriates. Let us unite to end the exploitation of Nigerian labor, ensure equity in pay and promotion, prioritize local employment in all government and private contracts, build a Nigeria where every worker has a future worth fighting for. The committee is ready. The laws are on our side. What remains is the resolve and the partnership. Together we can secure the prosperity of Nigerian workers and build a strong, more resilient nation in support of this administration. Mr. President, this is all I have, and this is why I've come to seek your partnership, that together we can live our names beyond. Thank you, and God bless you.
These are patriotic issues. But let me say, this meeting or this interaction should not be a one-off thing. You know, we have to work collaboratively until we achieve success. I think that's the first step to be taken. The Nigerian worker is, or the NLC is the watchdog, and the Senate has oversight functions. Now, if we bring this together, I think we are going to achieve much. The greatest problem Nigeria has is not a problem of laws or good laws. It's a problem of enforcement of such laws. You raise a vital point on the issue of aiding and abetting the violation of these local content laws. And the question is, who is involved in this violation? You know, it is important, either from the airport when people are arriving, either from the giving of permit, from immigration to custom, you know, down the line, including the companies that are involved. It's not the worker that continues to lament that their jobs have been taken over. I think there's need for us to have a data bank. I believe there might be some other documentation by your committee, but we need a data bank to know the level of convictions, you know, that must have been achieved in this country. Company A has violated, company B has violated. You know, there were cases of even companies that we made reference to in those days that are building refineries, and you see over 100 fitters, you know, brought from outside the country, and it's a problem. And these are high-profile industrialists. The major problem is that these high-profile industrialists are untouchable. And when they do it, it's difficult to, you know, bring them to book. The second point is even the issue of implementation of, even when you take them to court and you have court ruling, who enforces it? Is it the police? Is it the custom? Is it the immigration? This overlap, especially jurisdictional overlap, you know, has equally created a challenge which we must both look into. We have had cause to picket and protest, and at the end of the day, these problems are still there. We are at the receiving end. The Nigerian worker is at the receiving end. The Nigerian worker whose job is occupied by an expatriate is at the receiving end. I'm yet to confirm that after 4 years, these jobs, the issue of indigenization comes in. I beg to disagree small, but of course we can do small research into it, that after 4 years, these people are still there. You know, nobody goes there to knock at their door to say, hey, what are you doing here? You know, your job has finished. Let Nigerians take over. I'm yet to equally confirm that they train Nigerians to take over from them. What has been happening, especially in the food and beverage industry, is like you see foreign companies, if they buy Nigerian breweries, they will buy all the small companies, the one in Uyo, the one in here. So when they buy all of them, they now move expatriates to all those places, and they have total dominance in such sectors. And it's very, very important that we, like I said, we work together. There's a lot of work to be done, sir. You know, I won't deceive you in this particular sector. And then even if we are bringing in the Ministry of Labor, which should be involved, the labor inspectorate officers in Nigeria are no longer functioning. Now, if you give them that role, because these are the people that visit, you know, all those establishments, you know, to find out what is happening, to find out compliance level, you know, of industry owners and practitioners. So, since we have those ones that are like a police that move on daily basis, we should be able to collate the reports from them. But when they are compromised, assuming, then it becomes a problem. I know that you can perform your oversight function of visiting some of these areas, maybe once or twice in the whole process. You can't even visit 10% of the organizations concerned, and maybe if you are going, you know, they will not come to work on those days. And the document filed to determine the manning level at which Nigerians come in is not the main document, sir. You know, if a document is given to Ministry of Trade, for instance, go and check it. It's different from reality. And these are areas that you, by your busy schedule, can be chasing to know the document that was given there and the document that is there. So we need, you know, a level, a cadre that will monitor this and report back. As we talk now, It's not the immigration. Those ones at times operate at the ports of entry. It's not custom. They operate at the port of entry. But even at that, if we are very effective at the point of entry, there we can stop them, because you must indicate where you are going and what you are going to do. But these ones are licensed, and we must equally know whom you are. Why do you bring janitor, people that clean toilets as expatriates into this country? And this has been happening day in, day out. I don't want to go into polemics or playing to the gallery, sir, but I'm giving the commitment of the labor movement that we have been like the only voice crying in the wilderness. And with you, with the enthusiasm, and the energy you have shown, I believe that we can work to save this country from this calamity. Because why we are crying that there's no job, and actually there's no job. You say expatriates, even to worsen it, if you even have those expatriates at the same level, grade level with Nigerians, they earn double. You have discrimination in salary administration, even in such sectors in your own country. So you start to wonder. You can't even call it apartheid, because you are being discriminated by a foreigner in your own country. So it's not even an equal treatment to a foreigner and to a Nigerian. So all these things we have to look into them, sir, and see how far we can manage them to the benefit of this country. But this is deeper than what we are looking at. It has gone far, and I believe that with what I'm seeing from the Senate Committee on Local Content, we can achieve more. A lot of work is being done by the local content policy in the oil and gas, but I don't think equally the law alone, either offshore or onshore, has been able to just abolish it. The law itself cannot abolish it, except you move in to make sure that it's implemented. Yes, some of the companies are now Nigerian companies, that are taking over, but we are not yet there, and I think we need to work further, sir, and look at other sectors that we don't even expect people to bring in these foreigners. They are here, and if we do this, we'll be solving a lot of problem. We'll be solving the problem of capital flight, because the money is raised from these areas, they probably move to other clients. Some people collect their salary in foreign currency up there, and then there's no input here. It's not like when a Nigerian earns salary, what he will do with it. So I want to thank you and commend you, to promise you that the Nigerian Labour Congress, at any point in time, will work with you to assist us. Because this is to assist us, and it's important we understand it. Various unions within the NLC, by the time they send their reports, now we'll push it to you, so that you know the data of our people there, and see how deep we have been passing through this problem. So it's you that is coming to assist us, although you are on a national assignment. But if we solve this problem, it will be beneficial to our country, it will be beneficial to the NLC and its members, and it will be beneficial to you, that you beat your chest that during your time you were able to resolve this intractable challenge that we have had over the years. So once again, let me welcome you and thank you, and say we are ready to work with you. God bless you.
Thank you.